The 2022 World Cup is about to kick off. It is being hosted in Qatar or Qatar, however you say it. I'm going to use Qatar because that's how I grew up. All right. That's right. That tiny little country that's mostly a desert nub thing off the edge of the Middle East there will be hosting the biggest soccer tournament in the world. As expected, it's been nothing but a disaster. First, the entire event had to be rescheduled to, of all times of year, Christmas. Now, soccer fans will tell you the worst part of this is that it's happening directly in the middle of the most important European leagues. But I'm here to tell you that the actual worst part of this change is that it has led to the creation of this ad campaign.
You know, it says out of workshop for a reason.
I'm so sorry to bother you, boss, but something's come up and it's kind of a big deal.
What is it?
Have you ever heard of the World Cup? Well, they moved it to the holidays.
Wait, like the actual World Cup? To the holiday season? Are you kidding me?
Now, you might be saying, Casey, what's wrong with that ad campaign? It's Jon Hamm. We love Jon Hamm. I know, I love Jon Hamm too. Us big guys cannot have Jon Hamm playing Santa Claus. He is one of the few fat, gross icons that we have left. Stick to playing dreamy advertising executives, Jon. All right? I don't need you coming into my space, okay? Second, the city where the World Cup will be hosted didn't even exist when the tournament was awarded. Let me show you what I think the World Cup location probably looked like in 2010 when this was awarded to Qatar. They did build a pretty nice stadium there though, but I mean, seriously, look at that stadium. You want to talk about a stadium that was obviously built by a bunch of sexually frustrated dudes? That's it right there. I'm not going to say what it looks like, but it is anatomically accurate. The World Cup fan village also leaves a bit to be desired. That's right. Those are shipping cargo containers that World Cup fans are going to be living in the desert, mind you, just in the middle of the desert. Plop down. Speaking of fan experience, Qatar has very strict rules and laws due to their religion about nudity, sex, drinking, cursing, kissing other men, all of the things that soccer fans love. And this one fan is actually so paranoid to post this on the Qatar subreddit. And let's just break this down and dig into this a little bit. One, his first question, I'm aware of pornography rules in Qatar. My phone has pictures of my girlfriend and myself on the beach. Would these be permitted or should they be removed from my phone? I mean, why would you want to go to an event where you would need to be worried about this? His second question here exposes himself a little bit too much. I receive marketing emails from adult websites selling sex toys and sex-related items. He should probably not bring his anal beads with him first and then worry about what's on his phone. On top of all this, just days ago, after thousands have already flown to Qatar for the event, they announced that they will not be selling any beer in the stadium, despite FIFA's $75 million sponsorship with Budweiser for the event.
Today I feel gay.
They're not going to be selling any beer in the stadium, and in a lot of cases, within a mile of the stadium.
Today I feel a migrant worker.
And people have paid thousands of dollars for this. Going to the World Cup at this point is like buying a ticket for the second Fyre Fest.
It was billed as a lavish, one-of-a-kind music festival for an elite millennial crowd, with weekend ticket packages running from $1,500 to $12,000. But this morning, the organizers of the failed Fyre Festival are feeling the heat.
So you might be wondering, how did we end up here? Well, like most things, it all comes down to money. And Qatar has a ton of it. On top of the boatloads of money that they have from their stashes of oil, it's a real catch-22 here for them because FIFA, the governing body over international soccer, is notorious for being corrupt and fairly easily bribed, honestly. So basically, Qatar didn't even really have to try that hard. I like to imagine they had just pretty much walked up to most of these voters with briefcases of money, and that was it. In fact, they so openly bribed these officials that two of them were banned from voting before the vote even took place.
So we're now down to 22 EXCO members.
Even the voters themselves have since admitted that they were bribed. One fan even got off this legendary troll to FIFA president Sepp Blatter at the time, who has since been banned from all FIFA activities, basically summing up the entire situation.
This is for your career 2026.
Excuse me?
Thank you very much.
Sorry, this is starting. We're starting a press conference.
Where is my security? Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on.
It makes sense for everyone. Here we go, Seth. That's thank you. Here's Seth. It's all there. As discussed.
Now, the worst part of all of this is nothing is going to change. Sure, a lot of these officials and the parties involved were fined and banned from FIFA, but do they really care? They're still off living their rich person lives and raking in millions and millions from other investments and their companies, and honestly, probably from actions that happened while they were still on the board at FIFA. Qatar is such an obviously bad pick for the World Cup. I mean, there's numerous human rights issues, and they don't even like the sport of soccer there. It's a desert. They can't even grow grass. Yet these officials still blatantly voted for them to host the World Cup. They didn't care what was going to happen afterwards, and they still don't care now. And the worst part about it is the ones who actually do care are the fans. And it sucks because money is always going to win and the fans are always going to love the sport. If you like this story, please like the video below and comment what you think. Also, please subscribe. It's free. And if you change your mind, you can always unsubscribe later.